मूल मंत्र दा पाठ में शुरू करते हैं. I'm aware that we speak mostly English because we have some children, also some of the Sangat who cannot understand Punjabi fully. So बेनती है सारे फिर मूल मंत्र जाप में शुरू करके तो फिर अपने विचार करते हैं. So please everybody participate. सारे इकट्ठे बोलो एक ओंकार. सतनाम
सतनाम
करता पुरख निर्भय निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद. Hey, Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, there's a line which comes and is 3 times Vaheguru, and then there's Vahe and Jio. So 3 Vahegurus, Vahe and Jio. It comes in Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. So we'll do just a jap of that and then we'll start. Vaheguru, 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 Vahe Jio. Hanji bolo. Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru. Last time, Vaheguru, 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 Yo.
Vaheguru, 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 Jio.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa,
Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
So we'll start with last week we talked about, we'll take the annotations off. Just Vaheguru Satnam. Thank you very much. Okay, so today we're doing the 19th Pauri of Japji Sahib. We'd already done most of it. We're just doing the end, and then we'll have question answers. We won't go into the next Pauri, so we've got more time for questions and answers. So last week I gave a homework of that if somebody can kindly have some thoughts on what they've learned or what any views or reflections on the Pauri so far. So has anybody done that? Manraj Singh? Is it hands up? You can get out to read, are you? So every week, this is how we can find out how people are engaging with Japji Sahib. So every week after we've talked about Japji Sahib, you write down your thoughts and what you personally have learned from that Pauri, or what you have, your experiences of that particular verse Pauri. So, and in that way, everybody will be, there's no right or wrong answers, what you personally, how you connect with that, with the Pauri which we've discussed. Okay, so Manraj Singh, have you said, have you got something, or somebody else?
हाँ जी मेरे को है गया वो.
अच्छा जी, सुनाओ जी.
Last week मैं कीता सी learn be असंख्य the meaning countless ते nav the meaning naam te thav the meaning countless places to live te agam asangkh lo countless beyond human reach the places मैं कीता सी learn last week ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੋਂ.
Okay. Any more personal kind of reply, what you learn in terms of more the meaning for you and in your daily life, anything? Let me see if I can get everybody up. How come I can see like 5 people? If I can see more people. Has everybody got their video on? That's why I can't see many people at the moment. I can just see Japni Jodan Narayan, Manraj Singh Sajkaur. I can see Veji Surinder Singh Martkaur Penji. Jaspreet Singh, that's the only people I can actually see.
Please, sare apni video on kar lo ji.
if you just add, oh,
Prabh ji, Harji, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਆਫ ਆ ਜੀ।
Mansukur ਆ ਗਿਆ, Harnoor Kaur, अच्छा, I'm gradually seeing more people. अच्छा, Hanji, so has anybody else, if you just kind of wave, or if anybody else, Harnoor Kaur kita si, did you do it?
Hanji, मैं कीता सी. So everybody, like, it tells us like how nothing exists without Vaiguru's Naam, and like it also like it just shows us that Naam is everywhere in places we haven't explored yet, in other dimensions, and yeah, that's pretty much what I had.
Okay, very good. So that's what kind of reflection I'm looking at. Okay, so a bit more reflection. Let's see. And Jagdeep or Tejbhi Singh, did you do anything? No, okay, no problem. Okay, before we will start, and then last one, Harbarak Singh, did you do anything?
Yes, I did the really similar to Harnoor. Like everything is with Vaiguru's Naam, and then that's what I basically wrote down. Everything that's, you know, in this universe, it's with Vaiguru's Naam. There's many countless beings.
Speak up slightly, or I don't know if you're near the computer or something, so can we, Hanji?
Yeah, I just said that I wrote down the same as Harnoor, but I just added that there's countless beings throughout the universe.
Okay, thank you, Rajan. So in short, everybody what I'd like to do is think more about linking in what we're reading and what we're learning, and link it to you personally. So you learn, what can I learn from this? How can I connect with this? How can I make my life more beautiful from what Japji Sahib verse I've read? Okay, so very good. Welcome to everybody who tried that. So for example, I would say from last week, so I'm going to give you an example so you can do for next week. So my personally, I would say that from this particular Pauri of Japji Sahib, this particular verse, Asank Nav, Asank Thab, Agam, Asank Loho, Asank Hai Sarpar Hoye. The first part is about the wonder, amazement of what Vaiguruji's created. So for me, that kind of tells me that how we should appreciate nature, connect with nature, and through nature, don't take it for granted, actually use nature to connect with the Vaiguruji and to connect with the true reality. But then the question is, how can we use the amazing things which Vaiguruji's made? When we have this amazing feeling, how can I connect with the Vaiguruji? From Japji Sahib, I learned that Vaiguruji has given us words that we can connect with the Vaheguru. So in particular, we'll be given the Guru Mantra, we'll be given the Mool Mantra, we'll be given full Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, that we can praise and connect with the Vaheguruji. Every single place, from the verse I learned, that every single place has the vibration of Vaheguruji, the Naam, the vibration, the sound, the word. Through the spoken word, we can connect with the unspoken word. Through the Guru Mantra, we can connect with the Vaheguruji's vibration. So what that tells me is that I'm very lucky to be blessed with a guru like Guru Nanak Dev Ji, who has helped me to connect with the Vaheguruji. So it's really important that I take Amrit, really important that I do Simran, and it's very important that I treat everybody with respect and love, and see that because Vaheguruji's vibration is everywhere and within everybody. So there's no place without Vaheguruji's Naam. So that's kind of my kind of, can you see that? So next week, I want you to do something similar, okay? But so we'll pick somebody random next week. We'll have 2 or 3. So we'll just go through the, oh, Hanji, Sargunjot Kaurji, you wish to speak? Hanji.
Hanji Virji, I'm Sargunjot Kaur's mother.
Hanji.
Sorry for kids were disturbing, so I can't answer. I just, मैं पिछले ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਪਣੀ ਜਪਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ ਪੌੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ
ਜੀ
ਇਹਦੇ ਚ ਇਹ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਲਾਈਕ ਅਸੰਖ ਨਾਮ ਅਸੰਖ ਥਾਮ ਅਗੰਮ ਅਗੰਮ ਅਸੰਖ ਲੋ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੇ ਅਸੰਖ ਅਣਗਿਣਤ ਹੀ ਨਾਮ ਅਣਗਿਣਤ ਹੀ ਥਾਮ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਅਗੰਮ ਅਗੰਮ ਅਸੰਖ ਲੋ ਮਤਲਬ ਉਹਦੀ ਸਿਫਤ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਕਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੀ ਨਿਰਾਕਾਰ ਪਰਮੇਸ਼ਰ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪੂਰੇ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਤਲਬ ਖੋਜ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਸੋਝੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ
ਜੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਔਰ ਦੂਸਰਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਅਸੰਖ ਕਹੇ ਸਿਰ ਭਾਰ ਹੋਏ ਅਗਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੁਛ ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਵਰਡਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਿਰ ਤੇ ਭਾਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਔਰ ਅੱਖਰੀ ਨਾਮ ਅੱਖਰੀ ਸਲਾਹ ਅੱਖਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਬਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੰਨੀ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਸ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਜੇ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਰਿਸਾਈਟ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੀ ਸਿਫਤ ਸਲਾਹ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਪੜਾਂਗੇ ਤੇ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੀ ਸਿਫਤ ਔਰ ਅੱਖਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਗਿਆਨ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਅੱਖਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਸਿਫਤ ਗੁਣ ਗਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅੱਖਰੀ ਲਿਖਣ ਬੋਲਣ ਬਾਣ ਅੱਖਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਬੋਲਿਆ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਅੱਖਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਹੀ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਅੱਖਰੀ ਸਿਰ ਸੰਜੋਗ ਵਖਾਣ ਜਿਹਨੇ ਲਿਖੇ ਤਿਸ ਸਿਰ ਨਾਹੀਂ ਜਿਸਨੇ ਅੱਖਰ ਲਿਖੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਖਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੇ ਫਰਮਾਏ ਤੇ ਪਾਹੇ ਇਹ ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਜਿਸ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਬਾਨ ਤੋਂ ਬੋਲੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਇਫੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਸ਼ਬਦਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਚੰਗਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਉਚਾਰਨ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਆਪਣੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਚੰਗੇ ਬੋਲ ਚਾਲ ਦੁਨੀਆ 'ਚ ਰੱਖਾਂਗੇ ਜਾਂ ਮਤਲਬ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਨਿਰੰਕਾਰ ਹੈ ਜਿਹਨੇ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਅਤੇ ਪਰਮੇਸ਼ਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇੱਕ ਸਮਝ ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਗਰ ਲਾਈਫ ਜੀਵਾਂਗੇ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਨਾਹੀ ਕੋ ਥਾਉ ਕੁਦਰਤ ਕਵਣ ਕਹਾਂ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਵਾਰਿਆ ਨਾ ਜਾਵਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਜੋ ਤੁਰ ਭਾਵੇ ਸਾਈ
ਦੀ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਹੋਣੀ ਆ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਜੀ ਭੈਣ ਜੀ thank you very much so that's thank you very kindly just a quick recap of the Pauri's meanings in Punjabi so thank you very much so we're going to just very quickly I'll say the line so we just as a recap and if you can kindly ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਬੋਲੋ if you can kindly repeat after me okay so ਅਸੰਖ ਨਾਮ
ਅਸੰਖ ਨਾਮ
ਅਸੰਖ ਥਾਵ ਅਗੰਮ ਅਸੰਖ ਲੋ
ਅਗੰਮ ਅਸੰਖ ਲੋ
ਅਸੰਖ ਕਹੈ ਸਿਰ ਪਾਰ ਹੋਏ
ਅਸੰਖ ਕਹੈ ਸਿਰ ਪਾਰ ਹੋਏ
ਅੱਖਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਅੱਖਰੀ ਨਾਮ ਅੱਖਰੀ ਸਲਾਹ
ਅੱਖਰੀ ਨਾਮ ਅੱਖਰੀ ਸਲਾਹ
ਅੱਖਰੀ ਗਿਆਨ ਗੀਤ ਗੁਣ ਗਾ
ਅੱਖਰੀ ਗਿਆਨ ਗੀਤ ਗੁਣ ਗਾ
ਅੱਖਰੀ ਲਿਖਣ ਬੋਲਣ ਬਾਣ
ਅੱਖਰੀ ਲਿਖਣ ਬੋਲਣ ਬਾਣ
ਅੱਖਰਾ ਸਿਰ ਸੰਜੋਗ ਵਖਾਣ
ਅੱਖਰਾ ਸਿਰ ਸੰਜੋਗ ਵਖਾਣ
ਜਿਨ ਇਹ ਲਿਖੇ ਤਿਸ ਸਿਰ ਨਾਹਿ
ਜਿਨ ਇਹ ਲਿਖੇ ਤਿਸ ਸਿਰ ਨਾਹਿ
ਜਿਵ ਫਰਮਾਏ ਤਿਵ ਤਿਵ ਪਾਹੇ
ਜਿਵ ਫਰਮਾਏ ਤਿਵ ਤਿਵ ਪਾਏ
ਜੇਤਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੇਤਾ ਨਾਉ
ਜੇਤਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੇਤਾ ਨਾਉ
ਵਿਰਣਾਵੈ ਨਾਹੀ ਕੋ ਥਾਉ
ਵਿਰਣਾਵੈ ਨਾਹੀ ਕੋ ਥਾਉ
Okay, so this is where we go up to. ਇੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਸੀ. So now we're going to be doing the next lines. So this has been repeated. Anyone know Japji Sahib ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਇਹ line ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ? How many times does this line appear in Japji Sahib ji? If you can, if actually I'll pick somebody so everybody gets a chance. Oh, Vaheguru, Satnam, somebody just had a bit of a sneeze there. Tajinder Kaur ji, do you know how many times this line appears in Japji Sahib? Oh, I think she's having a sneezing thing. Okay, Surendrapal Singh ji, Veer ji. How many times, do you know how many times this line appears in Japji Sahib when we're reciting it? No? Okay. No, okay, Prabhuji.
Papa, how many times does
I think Virji's trying to unmute himself. We just wait for Surendrapal
appear
Singh.
in Japji Sahib? How many times does it appear?
Anji, Surendrapal Singh, are you?
Sorry, in Japji.
In Japji Sahib.
Yeah, in Japji, how many times is this line you think is comes?
Virji.
Could you just repeat the line again?
Is Kudrat ka ban kaha vichar.
Virji 4 times.
Okay, so we try to pick people. So Hanji, so if you don't just shout out, so I'll give the people a chance. Hanji, so
No, I'm
Prabhuji.
not sure. I don't know.
No problem, Virji. Thank you. Prabhuji, Harji. Hanji, are you speaking? Oh, I can't hear. Is Prabhuji Harji speaking? Hello.
In
Hanji.
the Sankh now, Sankh how?
No. Kudrat ka ban kaha vichar. How many times does it come in Japji Sahib? Okay, I think. Okay. Prasad Singh.
You know.
Oh.
4, Hanji. It's 4 times, okay? So there's 4 verses, 4 paudiyan, there 4 times a line repeat from the, okay? So what we might do, it might be easier if we actually probably use a chat box more. Okay, Mansuk or Hanji. I think otherwise sometimes people have issues muting and muting. Acha, so Kudrat ka ban kaha vichar, so Das will just speak, and if you can ete jara kaha, the kaka haha kanna. So as you can see in the English, for those who don't know Punjabi, in the bottom where it says kaha, it's got a in the N in pink. That means it's a nasal sound, nasik sound there. So to see nak vich bolna, so you say slightly your nose, kaha ta kaha. You can see the difference. Kaha, everybody say kaha.
Kaha.
And now say kaha with your imagine that your nose. It's got a squeezed nose. Kaha. Hanji. So according to Gyani Harbans Singh ji, is supposed to say with the bindi, meaning with the nasal sound. So Kudrat ka ban kaha vichar. Very good. Theek hai ji. Okay, so Kudrat here can mean, so actually, if you're on your chat box, very quickly, tell what Kudrat means, the different meanings of Kudrat.
What does Kudrat mean?
So write in your chat box, so rather than shout out. If you type it in there, then I'll read the answers out. If you make sure you just mute yourself if you're not talking.
Manraj Singh, we heard you're cheating.
So I've all got nature, Kudrat, okay. Okay. Considering, I think, on the actual screen, the word nature has not been used, so well done. So Kudrat usually means nature. Harbarak Singh says powers as well. Okay, very good. Acha, very good. So Kudrat usually means nature. However, Kudrat can also mean power. And here it means in the sense of power. Kudrat govern. What power do I have? Govern. What do I have? What power do I have? To kaha vichar. Vichar means, what does vichar mean? Quick, everybody just type what you think vichar means. Vichar and vichar. If you type in your chat box, it'll be easier. Okay. And Sargun Jot Kaur, are we talking about vichar here? Oh, unbeatable power. Okay. Describe. Well done, Prabhuji Harji. Mansuk Kaur. Hanji Theek ya. Japni, not too sure. No problem. Force. So vichar can be reflection, vichar can be to describe, vichar, ability to think. Well done, Mandeep Singh. Not wonder, Manraj Singh, vichar. So vichar is when we're talking as well. Let's do some vichar, let's have a talk. Vichar can mean when you're describing something, vichar can be when you're reflecting, and vichar can be when you're giving a sermon or a lecture as well, vichar over there. So vichar, what power do I have to describe? And then thinking, what are we talking about? think where the Pauri started from. Where did this particular verse start from? So the verse, the Pauri actually started from Asank, the countless, the vismad, the wonder, the awe, that wow, amazing. So we're talking about the amazing things that Vaheguruji has created. And then at the end, Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, well, how can I even start to describe your wonders? Okay, so it's basically, we're very helpless. Okay, so this is where we got to. So we can never describe how amazing Vaheguruji is. We can never write down and make a full report that this is Vaheguruji, how amazing he is. He's beyond us describing. It's like a frog trying to describe the ocean. Okay, so now moving on to the next line. So here there's no nasal sound, there's no bindi sound, according to Gyani Harbans Singh, which we're using as a reference point. So if you repeat after me, Varya na java ek var.
Varya na java ek var.
Hanji. So sometimes I thought it would actually be Java, like you say that in the nouns, but according to Gyani Harbans Singh, it's just Java. So Varna, anyone know what the word Varna can mean? So don't just think what's on the screen. Anyone heard of the word Varna? What can the word Varna mean? Devote, sacrifice. Manvir Singh, well done. Thank you very much. Sargunjot Kaur, Mansukh Sukhpreet Kaur as well, sacrifice. Varna can mean sacrifice. I haven't used that word on purpose, sacrifice, because sometimes I thought, particular younger children, they might not understand like what do we mean by sacrifice. So I've used another word, which is devote. So Varya na java, Varna means sacrifice, or that when our parents do lots of sacrifices to us, for us. So our parents, when we talk about our parents making sacrifices for us, so very quickly, if we can write down what sacrifices do our parents make for us? Yeah, anybody ideas what sacrifices our parents? Moving countries, they work for us, their time, okay, so these are some of the things. Maternity leave, okay, meaning when they take a leave, when they sacrifice money for fighting for us. Okay, so thank you very much. Oh, let me just make sure that everybody can see. Oh yes, everybody can see the chat box and their knowledge. Okay, so if we just stop there. So sacrifice, our parents make sacrifices for us. And that sacrifice basically means is that our parents are devoted to us. Our parents love us. So if we come back to this line now, Varya na java ek var. And ek var means in one go. Vari means go. Vari, go. Ek means one. Now, I was reading one translation of Gyani Jogendra Singh Ji Talwara, and he says, and he really nicely described this line to mean, why don't I devote myself to you all in one go? So it's really nice. We started from how amazing Vaheguruji is. Then Guru Nanak Dev Ji tells us how we can connect to Vaheguruji through the word. How through the word we can connect to Naam. How everything has a Naam, the vibration and sound of Vaheguru, God is in everything and everyone, how we can connect. And then at the end, Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, I can't describe you, and why don't I devote myself to you all in one go? So sometimes people have a relationship where you think, you know what, I'm not going to go for the full plunge, I'm not going to fully devote myself. Slowly, I'll work myself up. But Guru Nanak Dev Ji is saying, Ekvar, it's like throwing yourself in the swimming pool. Just do it all in one go, not bit by bit. So what the question to you now is, before I'll actually pick on somebody, I think we make it a bit, I'll pick on somebody trying to mute themselves rather than writing this time. So let's see, Tejinder Kaur Ji, so Guru Nanak Dev Ji says in here, why don't I devote myself to all in one go? What ways can we devote ourselves to Vaheguru? How can we in one go say, wow, I'm going to become yours, Vaheguru. I'm going to give myself to you. Any ideas, Tejinder Kaur?
By taking Amrit.
Is it the Jinder Kaur's iPad? It's the Jinder's iPad. No, you happy to speak? Okay, I think we just looked at me. Okay. So if we go, we're going to pick the next Sahaj and Tejinder Kaur.
By taking Amrit.
Okay, very good. By taking Amrit. I'm going to see a few people. Is everybody else on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I can only see 12 people. Is that everybody? I think it's 15. Oh, Mansukpreet Kaur is here. Mansukpreet Kaur ji, how can we devote ourselves to Vaheguru in one go? So we talk about Amrit. Is there anything else?
Naam Simran, apne nitnem karna.
Very nice. Doing Naam Simran, doing our Nitnem, I ourselves all in one go. That we're gonna just here you go, Vaheguru. It's me time with you. So it's like a one-to-one, you devote your time. Very good. So we're just going to talk about Amrit as this kind of, when I read about this, was reading this line, I was thinking about Amrit. So when we take Amrit, what did Guru Gobind Singh Ji ask for? And what did the Panch Pyare ask for us? Harbarak Singh.
Ask for us to do take Naam and then
No, when the Guru Gobind Singh stood on the stage and basically was going to give the Khande Bhatti Di Pahol, Amrit, what did he? Yeah, so he asked for, and when we take Amrit, the Panch Pyare say, are you willing to give your
head?
Head, very good. So why did Guru Gobind Singh Ji ask for a head and not an arm? Why do the Panch Pyare ask us, are you willing to give your head? And then they say, are you willing to give your hand? Chandrapal Singh, any thoughts? Chandrapal Singh?
Because without the head, there's nothing else.
Okay,
Nothing
yeah,
else
that's
can
true.
survive.
Very good. You can't really get very far with your hands and your legs without a head. Acha, somebody is put in the chat box as well. Some slightly, okay, some people, their responses came a bit late. Acha, anybody else to add upon that? So a head is kind of the control box. So when we talk about giving the head, what we're talking about is giving the control stick to the Guru. If you think about a car, what part of the car, what seat in the car is the controller seat? Manraj Singh? Oh, you already said Jagdeep Kaur, to the chat box, yeah, the driver's seat. So when we talk taking Amrit, it's about putting Guru in the driving seat and you becoming a passenger, allowing the Guru to take your car wherever you want, meaning allowing Guru take your life wherever you want. So now we're just going to go through a few things I've just got here for about Amrit. So if you look at this picture really carefully, so you've got somebody saying, save our soul, big ocean, and the ocean represents life. Then you've got this boat which has come to save us, and the boat is Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And for us to get onto the boat, what do you have to do? Get onto the boat, you can see there, what has to be thrown, we have to hold on to Jagdeep Kaur Singh, very good. Hanji Prabhaji, Harji, you got a question? You want to just speak your question?
So, you say that in the last line, you said that that if you give your head, then the Guru controls you. But then isn't the Guru already controlling you because of Hukam?
Okay, so very nice questions, very deep questions. So Hukam, if we I don't know, because I wasn't during the session when we talk about Hukam. So when we talk about the word Hukam can mean order, but an easier way to understand the word Hukam would be law. Everything is within the law. So we're talking about, so you live in Australia, so everything is within the law. you cannot escape the law. So within the law allows you to be free. So the law actually allows you to go from your house to the Gurdwara Sahib. The law allows you that you don't have to ask anybody and you can go shopping. So the law allows you that you can invite anybody to your house. However, within the law, there are certain rules that if you start to have drugs or stolen goods inside your house, you'll get in trouble and you'll be put into prison. Even though the law allows you to go to a shop and it allows you to pick up things, have a look at it, whether before you want to buy. However, if you decide to take those goods without paying for it, within the law is that you'll be in trouble and there will be repercussions. The law allows you that you can travel abroad, that you can go to different countries, you can go to India, you come to England, you can go to America. However, within the law, if you travel without a visa, without the proper documentation, without the proper passport, you'll not be able to travel and you'll be in trouble. So similar, everything is within Vaheguruji's laws. And those laws, we have Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Vaheguruji's laws, Vaheguruji's rules are not the same as worldly rules. Worldly rules can be cruel, worldly rules change with time. They can actually be of help to and actually put down others. Vaheguruji's rules, you can say, are the natural rules, the rules of nature, the rules of Vaheguru, which is part of this whole creation. It's made by the creator. So everything is within hukam, and within that you have a choice. Now, when we're talking about giving your control to the Guru, we're saying that where you have the choice to leave your house and you can either go to the park, you have the choice to go to the pub or to buy alcohol. You've got a choice to go to buy some drugs, i.e. you can go to somebody's house so they're up to no good. You've got a choice to go to the Gurdwara. Now, what choice would you pick? When we talk about giving control to the Guru, means that my thinking, I'm going to give to the Guru, and every action which I do from myself, I'm going to do it based on what my Guru wants me to do, because that's the best thing for my soul, the best thing for my body, and the best thing for everybody else. Prabhuji, your thoughts, is that okay, or you still got a question on that? Oh, Prabhuji, are you all right with that? Oh, can't hear him. Vaheguru. You just use the chat box because I can't hear you. I don't know if you are speaking or not. Hanji. So if anybody asks a question, if you can either type it up or you can just raise your hand and then we can do that question. A really nice question to Prabhuji and I think Harji. So moving on then. So when we take Amrit, we give our head, and we've already mentioned, why we give our head. So these are the various things used for preparing. Oh, Hanji Prabhuji, you have a question. Hanji, please speak.
So wait, so that means that the Guruji doesn't have full control over us? So that means there's a separation.
Guru has control on us, but Guru has given us a free will, meaning Guruji has given us freedom to choose. Your parents have control on you. If your parents want, they can keep you at home. They can keep you, actually, they can say, right, you're not leaving the house. They have control, and your parents could very easily keep you inside the house and not let you go out to play, not allow you out to the Gurdwara Sahib, or not allow you to go to school. However, your parents choose that they're actually going to allow you to go outside. So they have the power, and it's within their power that they're giving you freedom. So that's part of Vaheguru's power. That's part of Vaheguruji's perfection. Vaheguruji being perfect, Vaheguruji having all that power, is that he can actually give us the choice. And that's part of his power. That's why he's powerful, because he can give us choice. We have the freedom to choose. Hanji Prabhuji.
I still have a question.
No problem, far away.
But then he gives us the choice and we're not following the hukam.
Yes, and that's why every action has a reaction. That's why whatever we do accordingly, then that's our own journey. And that's where Guru helps us to say, look, even though I've given you freedom, just to make sure you don't get lost. And this is part of Vaheguruji's game, that look, let me make you free and let's see which one of you will come back to me, which one of you will come back home, Sachkhand, which one will you come back to me, will connect back with me. And those who follow the Guru's wisdom, they come back, and others, like you said, they become separated. And that's part of Vaheguruji's, you can say, game. It's a game. And those who use this chance now in this life to connect with the Guru, they get back with Vaheguru. And whilst others, if not this life, the next life, if not the next life, but eventually they will have to go back to Vaheguru because that's their home they've come from. But until they connect with the wisdom of the Guru, they remain separated.
Ji, can I use another example, please?
Hanji Bhai Jaspreet Singh ji.
Hanji, Prabji, this is an example. Just compare Hukam with this country, Australia. Okay, let's say Australia is Hukam. Okay, we are all living in the Hukam in this country. Okay, now this country has certain rules. You can choose either to follow them or not to follow them. Okay, let's say this country says that you should be driving on the right side. You have a choice. You can try to drive on the left side as well, or right side as well. Okay, this is your choice, but the country has a certain rule and you will have to understand the consequences of your choice. Okay, so you are still in the Hukam, you're still in the country, but there's a choice which will give you consequences, and that will lead to the result of your choice, what you choose. That's going to result to your next karam, and then that's going to give you another consequences and move you on to the next karam. Say that you decide that, okay, I'm going to drive to the left today. The whole country is driving to the left. Okay, you're driving in the right side, which means you're following what Guru Sahib has said. Okay, this is the right path. Okay, if you follow the right path, you'll be successful in this country. You'll be successful in the Hukam. But you can choose to follow the wrong path, where you may meet with certain accidents. You may become successful after a couple of lives. Okay, it's like a game. You're gonna get another life, 84, what we call 84 lakh juna. Okay, we may become successful after multiple reincarnations, but we should strive to be successful in this one life by following the right path, which Guru Sahib has told us, drive to the left side. Okay. So that's just an analogy it's just an example to give you more clarity.
But then
Rabji, can you put your video on so we can see you? Hey, oh, I can't see video one.
It feels like there's still a question in my mind. Then we have the free choice. We have free choice, but Gurbani, I'm pretty sure my dad explained one tok, where Gurbani said that you don't have a choice, you are under Hukam. But then if you have a choice to drive on the right side of the road and get into accidents, then you still have a choice not following the Hukam.
No, you are still in Australia, right? You don't have a choice to leave Australia. Okay, so you don't have a choice to leave Hukam. You can't go out of Hukam. But the only thing is, you can either be happy with this Hukam or you can be unhappy. That's where Guru Sahib explains us, try to learn to be happy in the Hukam. Okay, so it could be me. What I'm going to say that, okay, I'm not going to follow the Raza of Guru Sahib. I'm going to drive on the right. I'll whatever consequences are there, I'm going to, okay, I'll get the consequences. That's okay. I'll live unhappy life, right? You want to be unhappy all your life. Eventually, everybody wants to be happy, right? When I was a kid, I used to ask my parents for a lot of things. Why I was asking for all those things? My ultimate goal was to be happy in the life. I was trying to find happiness in all the materialistic toys or new games, PS4 or Xbox. But eventually, compare that with your current life. Guru Sahib wants you to be happy, which is why Guru Sahib has given you Guru Granth Sahib with all the directions to live a happy life, a useful life, okay? You can choose to ignore that. We can try to live unhappy life, But where's the fun in that? And what's the use of that, right? You will still be in hukam. Don't ever think for a moment that you're going out of the hukam, okay? We are not gonna go anywhere outside the hukam. We are still in the hukam. It's the happiness or unhappiness by living in the hukam, by following the raza of Guru Sahib.
So hukam, I think if you understand hukam to become this law, the law of Vaheguruji's creation, just as Veerji explained, you have laws of countries, then you realize that no one can escape that law. That law equally applies to everybody. And within the country, they don't treat you as robots. You don't basically just walk around, you know, I will do whatever. Basically, you're free human beings, and that's the beauty of these countries, that we have freedoms. Which, for example, in India, a lot of people don't have freedoms, but they can't freely speak. Sometimes their mind, they can't freely ask for their rights. In other countries, and they get put in prison if they do, or they sometimes get killed. So we have these freedoms, and that's part of the law, that we have these freedoms. But again, how you use that freedom, the use or misuse, is what makes you a gurmukh or a manamukh. If you misuse your freedom, then you are following your ego. You will end up suffering and going in the wrong direction. And if you use your freedom wisely with the Guru's wisdom, then you end up living a life which is makes your soul happy, makes your life easier, and also benefits the society as well.
Virji, a question bhi aaya ji ithe. Is it compulsory to be happy?
Oh, is a question, is it compulsory to be happy? Or can we not be too happy or too sad, or can we be neutral? Wow. Oh, that's a bit of a, do I have to be happy? It looks like somebody wants to be miserable. Somebody likes being unhappy, Mr. Unhappy or Mrs. Unhappy. Very nice question. When we talk about happiness, happiness depends, I would say, what do you think happiness is? For somebody, they get happiness by being cruel to somebody, by bullying somebody. Somebody gets happiness from just being miserable. They're actually still happy. They're happy being miserable. Somebody's happy not being happy. So actually, when we're talking about happiness, we're talking about what is good for your soul, what makes your life beautiful, what actually makes your life that you have excitement in your life, but that excitement is very pure, and that excitement is that excitement which leads us back to where we've come from, back to our home, leads us back to our real mum and dad, to Vaheguruji. So is it compulsory? I think Vaheguru is happiness and Vaheguruji is perfection. So if we've come from a happy family, then we expect the children to be happy. If my mum and dad were miserable, my mum and dad were unhappy, then you might expect Manvir Singh to be unhappy. If our parent is Vaheguruji, if Vaheguru is all happiness, Vaheguruji is peace, Vaheguruji is kindness, if I want to go, if that means if I'm the child of that parent and I want to go back to that parent's house, then I would have to be kind like my parent. I'd have to become happy like my parent, because the whole house is full of happiness. But then the question comes down to, what are you getting happiness from? What is your kindness? I mean, we'll mention that in the next line of Japji Sahib. Who are we comparing our standards to? Very nice, Sargunjot Kaurji. Very nice question. Hanji Prabji.
So if we have, you said that Guruji is happy, kind, all these good qualities, but isn't, but then Maya is a part of Guruji, and Maya is Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar. So isn't Guruji all these good things and all these bad things as well?
Naiji. Maya is the creation, and the Vaheguru is Niranjan. So we mentioned Aisa Naam Niranjan, whoever comes in Japji Sahib. Niranjan means, Anjan means stain, Niranjan, one who is stainless. Even though Vaheguruji has made this game of life and he's made Maya, this worldly distractions, He's, you know, like given a game, you have these obstacles, you have challenges. Even though he's part of it, he's also beyond this as well. Even though he's part and parcel of the creation, he's present here, he's also outside of it. So Vaheguru Ji is Niranjan, Guru Sahib is Niranjan, meaning that they are not affected, they are not stained by the things they have created. I imagine if somebody has bought some soil to do some gardening, and there's somebody who gets the soil and he puts the soil into their garden and they're not covered with dirt. However, a small child who doesn't have the wisdom, what they end up doing is probably eating half the soil, half the dirt, putting it on their face, possibly putting it in their mouth, their hands, they're getting dirty. So even though Vaheguru Ji is like the creator, he's made these things. However, it's the use and misuse which makes the person dirty. The use and misuse. So Vaheguru Ji is all pure. Guru Sahib, which is part of Vaheguru, is all pure. So very good question. So Vaheguru Ji, we were talking about such kind of a Nirankar, which is made up beyond the creation, is all pure. We're going to, if you just pause there with the questions, and we're just going to very quickly just move on to Amr, then we come back because we've got about 12 minutes. So we just finish this, and then the last part, you park your questions and we come back. But really nice, very nice questioning. I'm really happy that you really engaged in really deep questions, especially for people so young as well, but very wise questions. So coming to Amrit, if in your, so you can see there's various things here. Does anybody know what the white things are called which are used in Amrit? Do you know?
No, I don't know.
Patase, very good. So patase are made out of sugar. I think it's glucose or something. So is it glucose? Is it called glucose something? I think. So we've got patase. What's in the bucket?
Water.
Oh yeah, Amrit, thank you. It's water.
Pani.
And then we've got, and what's everything made of? Obviously, apart from the
iron.
Iron, very good. And iron in Punjabi is called?
Loa.
Sarbalo. Pure iron. Very good. So when we surrender, Varya na java ek var, when you give yourself totally to Vaheguru Ji, all in one go, you know what, I'm going to make this big commitment that I'm going to dedicate myself. It's so amazing. Why not dedicate myself to you? Then when we take Amrit, we give our head, we give our thinking to the Guru. We give our thought process to the Guru, that we're going to make every single free decision based on what the Guru says, the Guru's wisdom. So part of these things we use to make Amrit, so we've got the water. The water represents purity, coolness. Just as water cools us down and water is pure, so if your hands are dirty, use water. Water, it basically takes, even if you put dirt into a river, by the time it gets in the ocean, it cleans itself. It doesn't stick to it. So it represents pureness and coolness. And that's what Amrit brings to us. When we, Varya na java ek var, when we dedicate ourselves all in one go to Vaheguru Ji and take Amrit, when we take Amrit, it gives us purity, and it also cools us down, meaning that where we are overexcited, we're getting angry very easily, I want this, I want that, it cools us down to just relax and go with the flow of Vaheguru Ji, to have patience, to have contentment in life. So this batta, this is a batta, Sarbalo batta, which we take Amrit. A batta always has to be Sarbalo. It can't be plastic, it can't be steel, it can't be glass. And that's why many Gursikhs, they eat in Sarbalo based on this, because the metal, or you can say the material which Guru Gobind Singh Ji decided to keep Amrit in, to store the Amrit, was Sarbalo. And imagine when the Amrit goes inside of us, So that amrit, if it's stored in amrit and is given in Sarblo, sorry. So that's why a lot of Gursikhs, when they eat and drink in Sarblo, it reminds them of their commitment to amrit, and it also reminds them that how they surrendered to the Guru through this amrit which is prepared in Sarblo. So Sarblo, anyone think what does Sarblo, what qualities does it represent, Sarblo? If you type it in your chat box, what qualities does Sarblo you think, if you type it? Pure power, Mandeep Singh says power, Harnoor Kaur strength, Hargun Kaur sweetness, Sarblo is iron, puriferous power, it's cheap, so there's no segregation between rich and poor. Okay, very good. So it's a quality as well, so be the quality, pure. So one is just, one is that a bhatta is very wide, it is very big, yeah, it's very deep, and just like that, we should have a deep heart and we should have a big heart. Just as the bhatta is very big in which amrit is made, we should have a big heart. Just as the bhatta is very deep, we should have a deep relationship with the Vaheguru. Just as the bhatta, the Sarblo is very strong, our faith in Vaheguru should be strong as well. Very good. So next is the Khanda, again Sarblo. So there's a running theme, everything is iron. So Sarblo, Khanda, the double-edged sword. So what quality might this represent? You just type it up, give you a few seconds. You have to wrap up soon. Sarblo, Khanda, what strength? Power, strength. Okay, Manraj Singh. Okay. Think about it's sharp on both ends. So it's sharp on left and right hand side, unlike a karpan. So it represents the power to create and destroy. When the khanda is being used, one sharp side is facing, for example, the person who's attacking you, and the other sharp side is facing you. One side is destroying, the other is protecting. One side is creating and the other side is destroying. So the power to create and destroy. And this is what Amrit is. Amrit has the power to create a new beginning. Amrit has the power to create a relationship with Vaheguru. Amrit has the power to create new karam, which is based on Naam. But it also has the power to destroy. What does Amrit destroy? If you have a quick think and if you type, what does Amrit destroy? So we talk about what Amrit can create. Very good. Jagdeep Kaur, Tejbir Singh, our sins, okay, our connection or us being attached to Maya, our attachments to our previous life, our Bard Karams, Vajan Tavleen. So it's very powerful. You can see these things, everything that Maharaj used for making Amrit, they're very powerful. So moving on now, we have got 5 minutes, so we're just going to end with probably this. This is Patase. What Guru Sahib could have used sugar, Guru Sahib could have used gur, which is in English thing jaggery, but instead Guru Sahib used what's in the bhatta, Patase. So what qualities does a Patase have? So if you have if you stop the annotations, I think somebody's getting a bit, Anji, if you can just get rid of that. And sweet, very good, sweetness. So it's also killing one's ego and sweetness. So sweetness you mentioned, how killing one's ego. When you put the patase, oh, somebody's somebody's getting a bit carried away with the annotations. Let me just do. So if you can kindly just be careful not to touch the screen. I think it is probably the iPad touching the screen. So when you put the patase in the bhatta and the Panj Pyare stir the amrit, all the patase, they're all different shapes and sizes. Unlike sugar, they're very, someone might be big, some are small, some are very, they look very dense, some are very, small. But when they all put it and the khanda is stirring it, what happens to all the patase? They all
Dissolve.
They dissolve. And that's what happens. Amrit, the power of Amrit is we're all different. We're all different shapes and sizes, different types of, backgrounds and so on. But when we surrender ourselves to the Guru, when we surrender ourselves to follow ultimately the hukam, then what happens is we all dissolve. And we will dissolve into sweetness. We now, all our lives become the sweetness, filled with the sweetness of Vaheguruji, and we dissolve. We are no longer, I'm a particular color, I'm a particular caste, I'm a particular this. We now all become Singhs and Kaurs, and we all become one, and we all become the children of the one. So our identity becomes one. So then we do the Panj Baniya, Japji Sahib, Jap Sahib, Savaiye, Chopai, Anand Sahib. And this is how we should make Amrit. These are used to make Amrit. And we can probably end on this note. So Japji Sahib is basically the knowledge of God. Jap Sahib is the praise of Vaheguru. And the Savaiye is about detachment from the world. Chopai Sahib is about humility. And Anand Sahib is about joy. So Chopai, is it important to become happy? Yes, it is, because that's what Amrit, Anand. The Anand Paya Meri Mai, Satguru mein paya. When I met the Guru, I found joy. Joy was in the Guru. So it's very important. So we're going to end probably with that, and we can continue. So that was Varya na Java Ek Var. We've just done. Continue next week with the Jota the Pave Sai Palikar as well. So any quick questions before ending? We've got a minute or so for any quick questions of what we've covered today. Anybody want to just unmute yourself and ask a question?
Questions.
Manraj Singh, you asking something? No? And we have no questions? Manraj Singh, is your hand up, or you just wait, or you're stretching? Oh, just stretching, okay.
Stretching.
So thank you very much to everybody. Both very nice questions. So we'll just end with, we can all probably just, we just recite this, where we've got to, and then we'll say Fateh. So what I would like you as your homework is, what we've discussed today, so we've done Kudrat Kavan Kaha Vichar, Varya na Java Ek Var. We just talked about this. If you can give your thoughts about this, or not necessarily what it actually literally means. How can these lines of Gurbani become part of my life? How can these lines of Gurbani help me to progress? How can these lines of Gurbani help me make my life more wonderful, more beautiful? Yeah. So you have those thoughts ready for next week, and then I'll pick people next week if you to share them, please. That's your homework.
I've got one question. I got one question.
Who's the question?
We missed the first. It's me.
No,
it's Manroop Kaur actually.
Oh, it's Manroop Kaur. Okay, this says the Dinda's iPad. That's why. Okay, the Haji Manroop Kaur.
We missed the first 18 Boria because we weren't here. Yeah, we weren't doing the lessons. So what should we do exactly?
The homework I'm giving is just based on the lines we've just done today. Just that. So Kudrat Kavan Kaha Vichar, what power do I have to describe your wonders, Vaheguru? Varya na Java Ek Var, why don't I just in one go devote myself to you? So just your thoughts. Yeah, there's no right or wrong answers. Just your thoughts. Those particular 2 lines, even if you miss the last ones, no problem. All right.
Okay.
Yes, Amrit Benji? I can't hear you. You're... Oh, yeah. Hanji. Yes.
Amrit destroyed death.
Sorry, Benji?
Is Amrit can destroy death?
Can Amrit destroy death? Oh, wow. Very nice.
And stop it.
Amrit, your name is Amrit. I'm talking about Amrit. Your name is Amrit. Amrit destroys the fear of death. Amrit makes us immortal, meaning we join. What is immortal? So what one thing is that doesn't die? Everything in the life is going to die. So whether it's human beings, animals, buildings we see today, one day these buildings are going to crumble as well. However, the one thing which will never die is Vaheguruji, who is immortal, eternal. When we take Amrit, we attach ourselves to the immortal one, to the one who never dies. So it's attached to everything which dies, and that's why people become sad, people feel lost, people feel separation. But when we again attach ourselves to the one who's never going to die, then we also, in kind of part and parcel of it, become part of that deathlessness. We ourselves become part of infinity. So that's what I would say. Everything, our body is going to die. That's why we're not going to attach ourselves to our body. Amrit attaches us to that power which is never going to die. Hopefully but that should be Benji. And your name Amrit as well, which always reminds you of Amrit as well. And thank you very much. If we just all together then, those who remember the Pauri, if we just recite that just up to the lines which you've done last week and today. Asankhanav, Asankhathav, Anji bolo. Agam, Asankhalo. Vaheguruji, Asankhanav, Asankhatam, Agam, Asankhalo, Asankh par hoye.
Sankhya sir par hoye.
Akhri naam, Akhri salah. Akhri gyan, geet gun ga. Akhri likhan bolan baan. Akhra sir sanjog vakhan. Jineh lekhe te sarnaye. Jiv formaye tev paaye. Jita kita teta nao. Vinna ve nahi ko thao. Kudrat ka ban kaha vichar. Varya na java ek baar. So we'll continue the next week of Polchikma. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa.
Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.